Well, Addie and I are just heading home from the barn. It was a wonderful day here. Now, a little chilly, a little bit of wind, but the track at First Line was exceptionally good today. Very, very, very happy. I get to watch the 3-year-olds train as we were training the babies, and the babies trained very good also. The lineup here, now it's select, it's half the size of the one in Ohio, less than half. So happy with what I've seen going on both in Ontario and Ohio. And somebody takes that, when I say that, there is that voice in my head that says, Anthony, come on. Not everybody's great. No, but they don't have to be, right? They just have to be doing their work well as we head into 2023. We're here now, but as we head into the latter part of the winter, into the spring, they only have to be attempting to do their work well, right? I don't need them all to look exceptional. I just need them all to do it as well as they can, show some ability, show some promise, allow me to look at that horse train and extrapolate forward and say, I think this horse could be able to do this in the future. I like how this particular horse is doing this. We need to work on this aspect of this horse's training. And I'm just very, very happy with what I've seen so far. So what went on today, we 2 qualifiers. Bravura went out, followed. How did one of our clients, my partner, put it? An uninspiring mile. Yeah, it was an uninspiring mile. It's well put. Nice way of saying she qualified like crap. She won a mile and 2-2, I think, last half in a minute. Whether she races here, the Meadows, Northfield Park, or even Southern Ohio until the sale, she is in the sale. The Ohio sale on February 15th. I entered 4 horses. I'll get to that in just a second. Bravura, let's see what she can do. I'd like to see her trotting 58. That's what I would like. Show me some 58 miles. We're going to try and find some classes for her where she needs to go in 58, and I'm going to need her to do it. So we'll see how that is over the next couple of weeks. Blue Tesla, I think, looking at her blood, looking at the scope last week, and then seeing her qualify today, she was probably on the front end of getting a little bit sick, not the back end. Looked okay warming up. I saw her warm up, and then the qualifier was kind of flat and very lackluster. So I think what we need to do is work a little harder on her endurance. I said to Mario, probably train her up real hard in the middle of the week and then put her into school. I want to see a mile in 57 or 58 from her. I'll probably go with her next week in a schooler, and I want to see that mile before she is entered into go. There's really just no point putting her into go until she's ready to trot 57 or so. And I already know she can. So those were the 2 qualifiers. As I said, one of our clients had called them uninspiring. Yeah, I like it. It's a fair way to put it. Like I said, it's a nice way to say they were both kind of flat. But Will, as I said, there's room for improvement. How much, I don't know. I'll tell you in the coming week. You'll see Bravura show up somewhere this week. Now, does she make the trip over to Northfield? Is there a class for her there? There's no gimmies over there right now. The box is jam full. And I'll have to talk to Jason, Tim, Stacy, take a look at the races and the results from here, Flamborough, London, and then we'll make a decision what we're going to do with her. Now, 3-year-olds I was happy with. Tay Horn Player is really looking impressive. I know, listen, getting off the black looks good. All our horses that have been training, I've been watching kind of out of the corner of my eye, are going with them a little bit. And the one that I just keep gravitating towards is Horn Player right now. She's getting closer. I said to Dominic, there's no rush. He went 1.5 miles today. I think they were planning on going 225-ish speed, so backed her up a little bit. We'll probably go on the bike 1 mile in 210 next week, or go on the jog cart. If we're going in 210, there's no need to go on the bike. I know Dominic had said that, but now that I say it out loud, absolutely not. They can go on the jog cart and go 1 mile in 210. I know, it just, I had told Mario and Dominic also, these 3-year-olds training back, they're not 2-year-olds, and they are to do some heavy lifting before they get entered into go, and they absolutely will. You will see that over the next few weeks. But Horn Player, when she's ready to go, I expect good things. Now, this is a time of year when I'm doing the staking. I spent 5 hours yesterday doing the staking after seeing some of the horses. Even today, I'm going to reassess everything I've done. I did stake Horn Player a little bit heavier, and I will stand by that because I really, truly like the way she looks right now. She did show some promise last year, but ended up needing the hobbles. Her work ethic during her racing was in question, so I wanted to see a lot more from her. Addie, can you turn that down just a little bit? I know, honey. Thank you very much. Thank you. Right there's perfect.
I serve you.
A little bit more. A little bit. Perfect. Can you hear that? Good job. Thank you. So, very, very happy with Horn Player, and I am excited to see a lot of these horses are coming back. Brace for Landing lands back in Ontario tonight. He's just starting to jog back. Crantini jogged today for the first time since coming back in. Just starting to see all our sophomores start to show up again. Crantini put some weight on and looks very, very good. Grew up about 2 inches. Both Carter Michael Dio and Spitfire Overseas are massive. Now Nothing But a Dreamer looks fantastic on the track. Very happy. I'm starting today. I was jogging around and I'm really paying attention to everything that is going on the track. Watching the horses jog, watching who's training, how they're training, and then obviously focusing on the babies. So today we pretty much went with not really the same sets. We made a couple little changes. A horse that impressed me today that looked like she was reeling a little bit since we had that fiasco with her toe weight was Seasons of Love. I thought she looked absolutely fantastic today. But I would say probably one of the horses that stole the whole show today was Drebin. Drebin and Lonely Lakewood looked very, very impressive today. First set, easy in the turns, was good. I was on the front with Seasons of Love, and we really marched hard the whole way down the lane. And Drebin shot up the inside and beat me. I was second with Seasons of Love. I thought she was very good. George in the Jungle, easy in the turns, were third and fourth. Don't Talk About Bruno made a break today. Don't Talk About Bruno made a break today. Had the hobbles on him. Johnny said, he's just getting to the turn and he just roll off. He said, I can tell you exactly what he's doing. He's coming to the turn, he's touching himself, and he's giving up rather than work through it. I said, I can tell you also how to fix it. He said, okay. Go the right way of the track every day next week with all his gear on and make a march right through the turn. Every single one of them. You don't have to work him too hard because it's just a mental block. He's just coming to the turns and he's easing up. And I told you guys, when the horses ease up coming to the turns, what they do is, I've said they box their gait up. They shorten their gait up. And what they do when they shorten it up, a byproduct of that is they interfere behind. And that first touch on their ankle sometimes startles them, might sting them a little bit, and they just roll off. But they need to work hard through that turn. You have to work them through it. You have to get them through it. Let them square up coming into the turn and push them and push them and push them. And they'll get over that. They'll break through it. And don't talk about Bruno. Trots too cleanly not to. He's just being a little cowardly when they get to the turn. That's okay. He's just a little scared. They're all babies. But don't talk about Bruno. I know exactly what he's doing. I know exactly how to fix it. Don't talk about Bruno. By the time, and I hope we drone next week, by the time we drone next week, I think Don't Talk About Bruno will be just fine. So super happy with the first set. Even Bruno, because I know it's not a big deal what he's going through, and I know exactly how to fix it. Second set, also impressive. Lonely Lakewood came first over, and he was in with some pacers, some heavy hitters, and we really worked really hard on the end of this mile.
Dad, I think we need to take a car wash.
No, I just got the car wash yesterday.
No, where our car's dirty.
On the inside, that's some dirty fingers. Maybe I should put you through the car wash and clean your dirty fingers.
Why?
Because you got the window all dirty.
I know. I got the door dirty.
So, Lonely Lakewood ended up coming first over, and we couldn't get to him. I'll tell you, a horse that was flying on the end of it on the far outside was Winter Bells again. It's too early for me to say, I warned you, right? But Winter Bells, it's hard to gauge pacers in January. She's impressive. She is a big, strong filly. All she wears is a set of bell boots. That's it. And she was behind me, bottled up. I had time is on my side. And I was making up ground down the lane, but I couldn't get to Johnny. The other filly, Insider Trading, put a couple of steps in, but just like the other one. I was going to say her sister. Just like Flashfly, Danny, I saw her put the steps in. She should have made a break. And Danny just cinched her up a bit, and she just trotted right through the wire. Time is on my side, was in the middle. Winter Bells, I think, picked off Danny and I for second. Couldn't get to Lonely Lakewood. And then literally right in behind us, John, Watch Your Mouth was very good today also. He's got a splint left front. We opted to put a little blister on it the last 2 days. He started off a little funny left front. We put that blister on him. And then I looked over my left shoulder, finishing up, and Watch Your Mouth was closing up in behind us. We had to trot a last quarter in, I'd say, 37 seconds, which is pretty good for this time of year. So the way you can work that out quick in your head is 37 times 2 is a half in 14. We came a half in 17, but never really sprinted until that last eighth. So the fact that we came a last half in 17 and we're really smoking on the last eighth, you're going to say, okay, 37 is 38, even halves, 38 and a half, even halves. We're going much, much faster the last eighth than those 3/8 of the last half. You're probably looking at a last eighth in 17 seconds, which would be a last quarter in 34 or 35. But we didn't go the whole quarter that speed, just the last eighth. So a really good kick on the end of it from both the first two sets. And then the last set came out. James Arthur was in there. Dad's horse was in there. He's very green and still has a lot of work to do and has to grow up. And he was wandering all over the place and really caused a little bit of havoc today. Interfered with Hallie in the Clouds. Interfered with Great Bet. Interfered with International Spy. We put the trot and hobbles on him today. 1 second. Jimmy went with him and he made a break getting into the last turn when James Arthur was just being green. He was just being a colt. I had moved Flash Fly to the front. McPaisley was behind me. Great Bet was behind them. There was a little bit of a calamity with the other three. Hallie had just had her splints crowd anyway, so I don't know how much excuse she needed to roll off stride, but Amy said she was just interfered with. So the interference was James Arthur made a break and interfered with International Spy and Hallie in the Clouds. So those three got a pass today. One because he was very green and well behind everybody experience-wise. The other two, I had said to them, what were you doing behind him anyway? Why didn't you just move to the outside? You know he's green. But nobody really wants to commit too much to the babies, especially on a day when we're just trying to get them going again. This felt more like a Wednesday for us training here than a Saturday. But Flash Fly was amazing. McPaisley was on the outside of me and Great Bet was coming to us. All three of those horses looked good, and the other three were fine. James Arthur was just green. The other two made breaks, but still finished up a good last quarter and a good mile. So a great day again. You'll note I talked about every horse was good today. No issues with anybody. I'm not going to have an issue with James Arthur, the horse, because he was acting green. He is green. He had every right to do exactly what he did. He just needs to learn. He's coming to that part. Punched the clock, jogged after. She was very good. Where's Blarney Castle? He must have turned him out while he went away. Didn't see him there today. Punched the clock was very good. And myself in the bar. Now, as I said, there's 4 horses in the sale. I mentioned Bravura was in the February 15th Ohio sale. So is myself in this bar and Melanie's Michaela. I'm going to have some of my partners say, we need to give them more time and wait on them. No, we don't. We've had lots of time into both of them. And they both may make racehorses. I loved both the siblings of myself in this bar. But at the same token, I have to look at what he's doing and try to figure, okay, how do we get from here to the races? And there is not a straight line for either of them. Melanie's Michaela, a little close to that inside knee, still has a lot to learn. When I look at that and say, okay, she looks ordinary. She's a Pennsylvania bred. Where am I going to race her? You know what? Let somebody buy her and pay her into the fairs and have some fun in the fairs this year. Both of those horses are likely going to the sale. All 4 of them have till February 15th. And of course, the 4th horse is Hone the Tone. I did this for a number of reasons. First off, in the owner's statement, I made it very clear that he did injure his left hind suspensory. It's very clear. I talked to Mike about it, our vet, Dr. Latessa, and he said, well, I know you have a lot of money into him right now, but the rate of re-injury on that lag for a horse his size would be fair. It would be a fair amount. I said, okay. He said, other than that, you're going to have to wait, 2, 3, 4 months to get him back to where he is. Now you're in the summer, right? Now you're not talking about racing claimers. Now we're in the middle of getting our horses prepped, ready to go, qualified. The 2-year-olds, the 3-year-olds are in the middle of the heat of stake season. Now you have a horse with an injury in his left hind suspensory in the middle of the summer, trying to keep up with the speed they're going to offer. Had it been the other side of the winter, had it been July, and we were going to have him ready in December or September, October, fine. The other way, and he's right. It was very eye-opening to have that conversation. I'm worried about the injury. He said the injury itself should heal. And he was getting at what I already knew. If we had a small burn, if it was Anthony McDonald and I had 4 horses and I want to take that horse home, set that leg up good, really work on it, manage it, rehab it, bring him back slowly, maybe take 5 months, 6 months getting him back to the races, but know that he's going to be a solid maybe 20 claimer when we get him back. That would be okay. But that's not the case in this instance. I have to do what's right for our clients, what's right for you, what's right for us. I own a considerable portion of Hone the Tone, and I love the horse. I just think it is the timing, right? Trying to have him ready for June when the 20 claimers might go in 55 and have him ready in the heat of the summer may not be that beneficial. So we are going to reassess, though, coming closer to February 15th. We're going to have that lag under ultrasound again, see how it's healed up, see how it's coming. And if we see huge improvements and I'm happy with what we see, well, that's different. That moves the timeline up. That means that we can set it quicker, work on him and be able to manage that. But it's all up to him. So I'm putting him in the sale and then reassessing that, say, on February 10th or 11th, just to see how it looks for our own benefit is probably the path to go down. So we have 4 horses in the sale: Bravura, Hone the Tone, myself in this bar, and Melanie's Michaela thus far. So aside from the sale, aside from what's going on, you guys know what's going on Monday. The sale is, I had a lot of people message me, ask about the horses I was talking about. Listen, there is interest there. But as I said, it has to be about value. If you can show me this huge amount of value buying those horses, fine. I just don't see it happening. I think those people are probably going to protect their horses to a pretty high amount, probably quite a bit higher than I'm comfortable paying for horses that we're going to take 60 to 75 days to train back. We're looking for something now. And I can be talked into buying them, but I just don't think it's going to happen on Monday. Having said that, although I was wrong about this sale a little bit, and I was certainly wrong about the last sale with Preferred, I can assure you, before the February 15th deadline, and I use that as a deadline because that's stake deadline. That's when people are trying to sell their horses. That's when they want to put together some capital to pay for their stake payments. And I won't lie, that's probably why we're going to move some of our lower end horses. I don't have much interest in moving higher end horses if we can't replace them right now. But when it comes to those 4 horses in particular, and other ones probably coming behind them, yeah, we would like put together some capital also. But as much as we pay for staking, there are other Grand Circuit stables that have extraordinarily high staking bills. When you look, and I know because we had horses with some of those big stake barns. I'm not going to drop names, but I know that when we go through the trouble of poring over our staking and trying to weed out where we can save money on the staking, some of those larger barns don't. They just look at it and say, this is what we stake our horses to. If the horse is worth having in this barn, this is the staking protocol we're going to go with. And that's that. And they have a number beside every single horse that's what it's going to cost to stake this particular horse. And that's that. So I know these bigger barns will look and say, okay, well, we're qualifying 4 or 5 horses that have just turned 4. Or even sophomores that look really good for the 3-year-old year. If they will talk to their trainer, whatever that trainer is, and say, is this a Grand Circuit horse? Is this a top stake horse? And if they can't get a definitive answer, or at least a probably or even a maybe, then they'll put the horse up for sale. That's what we're after. We're after those horses. So currently, that's what we're after. So I can almost guarantee you before the February 15th date, there will be a number of those particular horses up for sale. And one of those, or a couple or 3 of those, may find their way to our barn, depending on the price, depending on the class, depending on the horse. But they will be offered up to us and everybody else in the public. So with that, we'll keep our eyes peeled, one, on the sale on Monday. There is interest there. But more importantly also, on Gate and other places that are going to be selling over the next little while. And then I think as you see the next preferred sale, it'll be towards the 10th of, I can tell you exactly when it'll be, 23rd, 30th, around the 6th of February is when the next sale is going to come up. And that's exactly when you're going to see some of those horses come out. Between On Gate, between Preferred, you're definitely going to see those horses listed. So with that, I'll let you guys go. I got some horses to drive tonight. I got Cinter. I have J.K. Mickey Mantle. And probably one of the most interesting horses I have to drive tonight is in much later. And that is in Procrastinator. Very interested to see how this guy comes back. I got a lot of hope for him. So we'll see how that plays out tonight. And we have lots of racing throughout Sunday into Monday this week coming. So with that, I'll let you guys go. Hope you're having a great day. It was a beautiful day. No sun come out. But a beautiful day here in Ontario, especially at First Line. A great training day. Take care.